we're logged in as the supervisor. Happens to be Bill. On the employee page we're seeing, let's just hover over there, there's pending self-evaluations. Red means it's overdue. And it's pending supervisor's evaluation. So we have one of those on our screen. So you understand that the first one is that the employees out there are pending. Do we have those? Yes, right here. So Jennifer and Lawrence is what it's showing, that they're pending there. You see that? And then there's one pending for the supervisor. So that actual orange usually means you can click on it, see where it takes us. And I'm going to click back just to see if that's the same as the view button. Actually the start button, right? Which it is. Okay, so what we're going to see, if you've seen the employee evaluation before, what's new at this point is it's the same wizard for evaluations, for the self-evaluation. Notice the label changed up here because now it's an employee evaluation. So that's intelligent for the label. But we have the employee's entry right here. There wasn't a comment made, but there was a rating and there was a date. So, same rating scale. Good is good, that's what's emphasized. But notice down below we also have a progress list. And we spoke earlier of the new feature, well, this is a new program, but anyway, it's the latest feature that was added before we release this. We can put in a comment. And if we click on view to go see this progress list, we just left that page in all of its state, except for we saved the local. So this is just a view of this particular employee's entry of their progress with some comment, and then notice the percentage is marked. So if we click on close, it goes back, picks up the comment out of local storage and the rating level. So as soon as we click next, it's going to clear that local storage. So next time we go to the next page, it's not going to remember that there were things to remember, because we don't need to remember it anymore. It's been submitted. So on this page, remember the instructions are there. That just shows the steps where self-evaluation and supervisor takes it, and the employee acknowledges it, and the supervisor finalizes the evaluation. So it should be just a simple, straightforward process. So we're just going to go ahead and finish this off. Clicking on good, so we don't have to enter in any comments. And as soon as we're done, it's going to know it. It's going to mark it as complete. And we're going to go see the result. So previously we saw this where the self-evaluation was filled in, supervisor was not. But now we have both. And we have an overall of good compared to the self-evaluation of good 3.2, which is fine. Okay, from there, let's just go straight on to journal entries. We don't have any journal entries due, otherwise we'd have that check engine light there. But what we do see is there was just one employee comment. Of course, this is a lot of test data, so we'd most likely have more comments. So there's not going to be a date in the employee comment unless there has been one. And remember what it looks like. It's just a simple comment back and forth between supervisor and employees. Just one comment each that you can do. And remember that the employee journal entry is for making note of progress of their goals. Any notes made even on the evaluations they can follow up on and say these things have improved. That's great. But also what we're going to do here is click on adding a new journal entry. So we can have, now let me step back on that one. Remember, when an evaluation is sent out, usually on a person's anniversary month, that there's 4 goals. 3 of those are institutional connections for the sub-goals. And the 4th one is the relation and culture goal. And you can add more. And then you get a self-evaluation. And then behind the scenes, there are these very journal entry reviews that are scheduled for 90 days after the evaluation, 180, and 270. They do not show up until 7 days before, but they will show up as badges or check engine lights right here on your left menu. So given that, let's go ahead and just create one so we can see what that looks like. So just gonna put the content here. of a comment. And so this is the only place that HR has requested that we have files that can be uploaded that will be proof of whatever is going on, like you finished your master's degree, or you have another certificate, or you've learned a language sufficiently, or that you've had other goals and things that you've done. So now notice that the finalize button is ready. We could have the employee comment, but even so, that is not required. We can finalize right now, and you'll see that that will give us the message and will automatically update. And there it is. So moving on, ranking is just a view only. We've seen this before in other videos, but it's just the last 12 months of all of the evaluations that have been done. And right now we just have Lawrence in there that's been finalized. So moving on to goals. Now there's 3 boxes here. So I'm just going to hover over it. So this is pending employee entry. This is overdue. That means on the employee side there is 1 self-evaluation that is pending. Can we see that in this page? This is, well, not self-evaluation, sorry, it's goals, isn't it? Ah, there it is right there. See, Lawrence, he has goals that are overdue. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pending employee entry. So this is just sort of a one-off, the quality sub-goal. So what happened in quality forms is they allowed to choose a main goal rather than sub-goals, and ultimately HR wanted to have specific sub-goals that people need to go back and fill in. So when they go to their page, see up here on their left side, they'll see goals, and they'll have a badge up there saying pending, and it'll probably be red because it's late, but they just go back, and every time they go into the wizard, the goal wizard, they will be prompted saying this is missing a quality sub-goal, and you'll know that you just need to fill it in because you can't go on without filling one in. So that's all that is. These will disappear and be gone after people finish those off. So moving on. The last one is pending supervisor's goal review. So check this out. So I just today or yesterday put in goals. So we're going to go review that, and this is what happens. So we see number 1 goal. That's my first thing. Now, so and this is my institutional goal that I connected it to. So as part of this review, see this here? We can agree and accept, or we can have a question or give guidance. We took a word the way disagree because it just seemed a little too vengeful, I think, too little rough. But in here you could say even your institutional goal. I think there's another one you could add to it, or maybe that's the wrong one. So now we have a pop-up that gives institutional goals, so you don't have to memorize them. But you might say, 2.2. Say 2.2 could also be an institutional sub-goal to include here. Okay, so you got that. We're going to agree, so it's just more of the same all the way down, right? Then we submit it. Now watch what happens. So this is going to be marked as completed by the supervisor. And here you'll just see that it's pending employee. So you don't have anything pending over here anymore. There goes the 0. So let's actually just go and log in as me. Okay, we're now logged back in as me. So as we go through, we have the same wizard as before. It should all look familiar, except we have now the supervisor review. So I need to take out this disagree word. We need to put in question/guidance, because I suspect we're going to have a lot of SMART goal guidance to have people learn better how to fine-tune their goals with deadlines and much more finite, what do you call it? I'll tell you what I call it. That's why this is here, measurable. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant. So what's going to happen is if I add anything here, or if I even click on this and I click next, it's going to mark it automatically that I responded to that goal. So we see that after we clicked on next on that goal number 1, that was a disagree, that it marked it as answered, and that was the only one to really answer, so that badge goes away. And we really don't need to finish after that, but we could peruse our goals, make sure they're all agreed to, and we're done. So we're going to log back in now. We're logged back in as the supervisor, bringing up the employee page. Notice we're back to review now. Emails were sent, by the way, after this review was done by the supervisor. Email went to the employee, but of course the check engine light's also on. And then that hopefully will make its way into the to-do list on the portal. And then when the employee finishes, it's automatic again. We're taking care of that under the covers here, that the email goes out to the supervisor saying that the employee answered to those corrections, and you can see it again. So we're still in the mode then that we need to agree. Now check out what happened here. We were actually keeping track that there was a disagree. Again, we need to change that verbiage to question and guidance. That's a more recent thing. And the SMART goal comment given at the time was there because, and even though we keep that comment down here, because you can add on to it, and and say employee made a great update and it works, okay? But we're keeping the history is what's happening up there. And that's also, you see this as the original, oh yeah, so you got the original institutional goal as well. So now we've added, so now we're seeing the change that happened between the two, because here's that first goal description, see that there? So that changed. One enhancement we could do here is a little markup showing green or strike out red of things that have changed. That could be interesting. But this is it. The way we finish this is we agree with it finally. Everything else is agreed. When we click submit, it's going to mark it as signed off, although we do need to finalize. And there it is. Finalize that. And then institutional goals. That's just a list of those again. That's the place to find it. And the last thing to show you on Supervisor is how we can go in and we're going to embellish 1.2 and make it more detailed for our department. So when we do this and we save that, it's going to mark who put it on there, which is Bill. And then when the Bill's employees go in, they're going to see this department goal, which will attract their attention to it, saying this is what our focus is. They can choose it, but it sticks with 1.2 just for their department only. So that's the end of seeing the interface.